The entrance to a particular university in Malaysia requires a candidate to pass three tests in the following order. That is PSPM, MUAT, and oral test. Given that the probability that a candidate passes the first test 0.8, and if the candidate passes a test, the probability he or she passes the subsequent test is 0.9. On the other hand, if a candidate fails, the probability he or she fails the subsequent test is 0.7. The first question, construct a tree diagram for the above events. Okay, so what we're going to do first, before we draw a tree diagram, we're going to denote what is our event. Okay, so let's denote with, let's say P. Okay, P is the event that a candidate pass a test. So now let's construct the tree diagram. We have three tests, which is PSPM, MOAT, and oral test. So there are going to be three branches. So for the first test, we're going to have MOAT. No, it is PSPM. PSPM, where the student is either going to pass the test or fail. So let's denote fail as P prime. So this is the first test. So for the second test, which is MOAT, we have the same, where either he or she going to pass the test or fail the test. Okay. Another branch is the same. Oh, it seems going to rain outside. And for the third test, which is also the same thing. Okay, so this is the branches for oral tests. Okay, now let's read again. Given that the probability that a candidate pass the first test is 0.8. So for the first test, if he or she passed, the probability is 0.8. If we complete our tree diagram, the total is 1. So if he or she failed, it is 0.2. Now, so let's read some more. The probability he or she passes the subsequent test is 0.9. If he probability that a candidate passes the first test is 0.8, and if the candidate passes a test, the probability he or she passes the subsequent test is 0.9. So what we're going to do is, if he or she passed the subsequent test is 0.9. Okay, so we're going to write down 0.9 if he or she passes the first test. Okay, so same goes, we're going to write down here 0.9 if he or she passed the subsequent test. Okay, and some more, we're going to write down here 0.9. Oh no, sorry, this is not where we're going to write down 0.9 here, actually 0.9 here. Okay, if she passes the first test. Okay, we're going to pass the subsequent test 0.9. Okay, now if we complete our tree diagram, we're going to have 0.1 here, and also here, and here 0.1, right? Okay, so next is The probability he or she, no, on the other hand here, the next sentence. On the other hand, if a candidate fails, the probability he or she fails the subsequent test is 0.7. If a candidate fails, okay? He fails the subsequent test is 0.7. So we're going to write down if he or she fails, he fails the subsequent test is 0.7. So we're going to write here, which is 0.7. And he or she fails is 0.7. And if he or she fails, okay, the probability he fails the subsequent test is 0.7. So now let's complete our tree diagram. We're going to have 0.3 here, here also 0.3, and this is 0.3. Now let us calculate or list out first the outcomes. Let us list out the outcomes. Okay, so here is P, P, and P. This one is P, P, and complement of P, and P, complement of P, 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 complement of P, and another complement of P, complement of P, P, and P, complement of P, P, and complement of P, complement of P, complement of P, and a P, complement of P, complement of P, and also complement of P. So now let us calculate the probability. So what we're going to have here is 0.648, 0.072, 0.024, 0.056, 0.054, 0.006, 0.042, 0.098, where the total is 1. Okay, now what we're going to do now, let's look at the first questions. So what is the question 1? Passes PSPM and oral tests. Passes PSPM and oral tests. Okay, so PSPM and oral test means passes PSPM oral test. The first one, PP and P. PSPM and oral test is another one. Is it this one? Right? Okay, now let us write down the first question. Passes PSPM and oral test, where he going to pass the first and the third test. Okay, so it's either he going to fail or pass the second test. It doesn't matter. Okay, so it is 0.648 and 0.024. 0.648 plus with 0.024, which is 0.672. Okay, now what's next? Passes at least 2 tests. Passes at least 2 tests. Okay, so it's either he passed all the tests, right? Okay, pass all the tests, means this one. Okay, either 2 or 3 tests. He or she going to pass 2 or 3 tests. Okay, this one, this, nope, there's only one pass here. This one, nope, this one, and that's all I guess. Okay, all right, so what we're going to write down is, okay, so we already calculate for this one. Okay, which is 0.672. but I'm going to write again anyway, where P plus with P complement of P, right? P complement of P and P here, plus with P complement of P and P there. Okay, so what we're going to write down is 0.648 plus with 0.072 plus with 0.024 plus with 0.054. So if you find the total, you're going to get 0.978. Okay, so that's it.